Okay, so let me start the syllabus first. Contents. So I have prepared these contents for CC Data Center version 3.1. Okay, earlier it was version 3. Now latest one is version 3.1. So I have made these documents on per class basis. Okay, so total we will run 49 classes and other 3 classes for demo lab. Demo lab means CCA demo lab bootcamp. So it's simply like real. So what is we need to do on CCA data center lab exam. Okay, so I will show you a demo after the end of classes so that you can you can be prepared for CCA data center lab exam as well. Okay, so let me go from the first. Okay, so on day 1 and day 2, I will discuss about the introduction to Nexus. Okay, so first, what are the hardware for Nexus? So basically, on CC data center, there are 2 types of data center. One is classical data center. I will show you the classical data center. That means Cisco Nexus based. Cisco Nexus based. Another one is next generation data center, which is ACI, Cisco ACI. Okay, so this one is traditional, but is still now alive. And this one is Cisco next generation data center, which is called ACI. Okay, so let me discuss about the traditional data center and what are the devices we will use. So first we need to go for the hardware. What are the hardware for Nexus series? So actually Nexus series start from 1K, then 2K, then 3K, then 4K, 5K, 6K, 7K, and 9K. Okay, please be remember there are no 8K. 8K, no. Only 1K, 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K, 6K, 7K, and 9K are the Nexus categories or Nexus series. All of them only we will use this type of hardware. 2K, 5K, 7K, 9K. Okay. So 2K is actually not a switch. It is called fabric extender. Fabric extender. For only used for extend your ports. Okay. So 2K. Then I will also discuss about the 5K, 7K, and 9K in your classes. So day 1 and day 2 will be on the Nexus hardware only. Okay, so we have Cisco Catalyst switch as well as NXOS. So on Catalyst, we are using the iOS, right? Catalyst operating system is iOS. But on Nexus, we are using the NXOS operating system. NXOS operating system. Okay. So what are the difference between them? Why we will use NXOS instead of Catalyst switch in our data center? Okay, I will discuss everything on the classes, as well as what are the characteristics and where to use the 9K switches, 7K switches, 5K, and 2K. I will discuss everything on it. So suppose on when I will provide my training, so I will provide you the slide. So suppose this one is this for 9K. Okay. Let me open it. So I have already made a documentation on slides. Okay. So here you can see these are the Nexus series. What are the Nexus series? 9200, 9300, 9500. And what are the use of 9500? What are the modules? Okay, so there are on 9K series, we have supervision module, fabric module, line card, system controller. So where to use it? Okay, I will discuss. And what is the Cisco data center actually? What are the devices? So Cisco data center actually run the storage, server, and user. Okay. So these elements are basically on the Cisco data center. Okay. So on next series, I will describe everything on its hardware in details. Okay. I have also prepared the documentation on PDF. I'll also share with the PDF file. Then our classes will be day 3, and on day 3, I will discuss about VDC, virtual device context. So this is similar to VLAN, or this is similar to on security context on Cisco ASA firewall. Security context. Actually, what is that? So VDC. Suppose this is the Nexus device. So this is a physical device, a single physical device. But virtually we can divide into 4 logical switches, or more logical switches. So every switch is diagnosed as a separate switch. Okay, separate switch. Same as VLAN. One switch can be divided into multiple segment, multiple broadcast domain. So similar concept is here. So normally Cisco Nexus 7K switch we can configure as the Cisco VDC, a virtual device context. So logical switch. From a physical switch, we can accept the logical switch. Okay, so I will describe everything on it. So suppose these are the contents, what is BDC, different types of BDC, default BDC, admin BDC, non-default BDC, and resource allocation, template, boot order, ASA policies, etc. Everything I will discuss. Then on class 4, 5, and 6, I will go for BPC. So you have already heard about the BPC. What are the BPC in Nexus? So virtual port channel, BPC means virtual port channel. First I will go for concept on every part, and then I will do lab. Okay. So BPC, what is BPC? Let me show a slide. Suppose be honest. So you can say here, I have already prepared the PDA, so that means slide, but not only have the slide, I have more and more PDF file. Okay. So next we can make, so what are the BPC? BPC means virtual port channel. Okay. So basically, what are the goal of BPC? Two switches. So we have already heard about the stack, Cisco stack, right? So Cisco stack is on Catalyst switch, and also BSS, virtual switching system. Also we are using BSS in Catalyst. But on Nexus, stack and BSS is not supported. Here only BPC, virtual port channel. So what are the end goal? End goal is two switches will be act as a single logical switch. Two switches will be acting as a single logical switch. Suppose 5K1 and 5K2 are two different switches, but same model, everything same iOS. Okay. So virtually we will configure this as a single switch. So for this switch, it will think I have only one uplink. I have only one device on my uplink. Okay, if one is down, no problem. Another will be active. Okay, same as Cisco stack, same as Cisco BSS. But on Nexus, we can only configure the BPC. So I will discuss everything on BPC. I will do depending on labs on BPC. Okay. Then, so this is our day 4, 5, and 6. So BPC is very important because on CCE exam, you will get a part of lab on BPC. Okay, so it's very important. Then on day 7 or class 7, we will discuss about the multicast. So we have heard about the unicast, broadcast, and multicast. Okay, so here I will discuss about the multicast, how multicast works, how multicast network should be configured. Okay, everything I will discuss. Okay, so unicast is a one-to-one communication. Broadcast is one-to-many or all. Multicast is a group-based communication. group-based communication. So one-to-many, but not all. Multicast is one-to-many or not all. So, for example, Zoom communication. Zoom is a multicast communication. Suppose I have shared your link, and who will join my meeting through the link, he can listen my speech. Okay. So if anyone, suppose there is another guy, so I have shared the Zoom link to many guys, but only 3 or 4 can be joined. Okay, not all. So suppose this guy also join the Zoom meeting. I am delivering a lecture and you can hear. So this is something like multicast communication. Okay, so I will discuss everything. So IGMP, PIM, what are the protocol? Okay. So sports mode, ASM, any source multicast, SSM, dense mode, bidirectional, PIM, quantum RP. So I will do lab on it as well as theory. Okay. Then day 9 and 10, I'll discuss about VXLAN. So this is one of the most powerful technologies under CCA data center. Okay, CCA data center. So VXLAN, we can also configure it on Catalyst switch. Also, we can configure on the Nexus switches. Okay, Nexus switches. So why it is used? It is basically used to connect to data center. Okay, to data center. DCI, data center interconnectivity. Okay, so VXLAN is very powerful. So let me show a slide. This is VXLAN. Okay, so you can have here. So why VXLAN tunnel is used? So VXLAN works on top of layer 3. Okay, suppose underlay is layer 3 and VXLAN technology works. So VXLAN technology actually the overlay technology. Okay, overlay and underlay. So what is overlay and what is underlay? Underlay means the existing layer 3 infrastructure. It is actually purely IP network. Okay, suppose you can have MPLS, you can have any IP network on the underlay. You can configure the OSPF, ISS, or everything. Okay, so on top of it, we can configure the VXLAN tunnel. So this is the overlay tunnel. On top of layer 3, we can configure the VXLAN tunnel. So why VXLAN tunnel is used? VXLAN tunnel is used to extend our layer 2. To extend our layer 2 domain. So at the end, what can we achieve? These two VLAN are under same switch. Same switch. You can also call the bridge. That means this one is separated on different places. Okay. But at the end, if you configure the VXLAN tunnel, so you will assume all the VLAN are in my same switch. Same switch. So this is the benefit of VXLAN tunnel. Okay, so I will describe everything and how we can deployment it. So our VXLAN deployment can be in data plane forwarding mechanism, control plane forwarding mechanism. Data plane can be achieved using the head and replication method or flood and learning mechanism. Control plane can be configured on MPBGP EVPN technology. Okay, so I will discuss everything. And here we have many labs, and these VXLAN is very important in CC lab exam because 30% to 40% lab will be on VXLAN tunnel. Okay, so you need to configure it either CLI mode, also GUI mode. So I will show you both mode, how to configure CLI mode, how to configure GUI mode. So VXLAN tunnel is also important. Then, so here 8, 9, 10, there will be 3 classes on theoretically, and also we have many more classes on lab. So day 1, day 12, day 13, day 14, and 15. Okay, so we will configure many labs on next VXLAN. Suppose this one, virtual extensible LAN. Okay, so we'll task 1, task 2, and then task 3, task 4, and similar to task 10. Okay, so there will be many labs on it, VXLAN, because VXLAN is very important for traditional data center extension. You need to configure the VXLAN. Okay. Then we'll go for another technology, application-centric infrastructure. This is the very, very important also. So on CCE lab, we need to configure 40% on Cisco ACI or application-centric infrastructure. Okay. So how ACI works? How ACI works? Let me show a slide. So on ACI, we have huge labs. Suppose 20 classes on ACI, 20 classes, almost 20 classes on Cisco Nexus. Okay. So there will be more and more classes for Nexus and ACI. So ACI, there are too many labs. I will configure everything. So actually, what is Cisco ACI? So let me discuss about the Cisco SDN. ACI is the SDN technology. Okay, software defined networking. Software defined networking means we can configure we can do the API. That means we can automation. Okay, we can do automation. We can have the central configuration. Okay, central dashboard. So I am discussing about it. So first SDN. So Cisco SDN solution, we have 3 types. For one solution, we are using the Cisco SD1. It is a software controller. Okay, I will discuss what is controller. Then on SDN, on LAN, we'll call it Cisco SD Access. On data center, we call the data center. For DC, we are using the Cisco ACI. Okay, so Cisco SDN are divided into 3 parts: SD1, SD Access. On data center, we call it the Cisco ACI. So what is actually the SDN technology? SDN technology is actually the controller-based solution. Controller-based solution. From a controller, you can manage your network, you can configure everything, okay, from a central dashboard. That's why we can also call SDN is a controller-based solution, as well as we can automation it. Okay. So there are different types of controller. For SD1, we have the software controller. For SD Access, we have also hardware controller. And for ACI, we have the hardware controller. Okay. So what is the difference? So we already know there are 3 control plane. Okay. Sorry, 3 plane. Control plane on every device, either a switch, either a router or firewall. We have the control plane, we have the management plane, and we have the data plane. Okay. So on Cisco SD1 and SD Access, control plane and management plane is separated from the data plane. And control plane and management plane will be put into the controller. And from the controller, we can manage our everything, every configuration, dashboard, monitoring, etc. But only difference in Cisco ACI is only the management plane goes to the controller. Only the management plane, not control plane and management plane. In Cisco ACI, only the management plane goes to the controller. In ACI, we only abstract management plane on the controller. Okay. So in Cisco ACI, we call it the APIC, Application Policy Infrastructure Control. From the APIC, we need to configure everything. We will get a single dashboard, and from the dashboard, we will configure the full Cisco ACI infrastructure. So I will describe everything. I will go for first 10 classes on theoretical and last 10 classes on different labs. Then the protocol on ACI, there are different types of protocol on ACI, such as ISIS, NPBGP, BXLAN, MOOC protocol, Upflex, LLDP, DHCP. I will describe their behavior, characteristics. Okay, so I will describe everything. Then day 20 and 21, 11, I will discuss about epic initialization and cluster. How to register epic with the ACI in ACI fabric. I will discuss everything. How ACI can discover the fabric, epic. Okay, so I will discuss everything. Then day 20 and 30, 23 are technologies in ACI. Okay, what are the technologies? Suppose tenant, what is tenant? I will discuss. What is DRF? What is bridge domain? Okay, what is application profile? What is EPG? Endpoint group? What are the how to configure contracts? What are the filters? I will discuss everything. Okay. Then day 24 and day 25, I will discuss about three-tier architecture in ACI. So actually ACI not three-tier, two-tier architecture, because you can see here it's a spine leaf architecture, right? Cisco ACI is a spine and leaf architecture. So yeah, a spine and leaf architecture. So everyone is, so these are the spine switches and these are the leaf switches. Okay, these are the leaf switches. Spine to spine, never be connected. Leaf to deep, we will not connect it. Everything is connected via a spine. So this is actually our two-tier architecture. In previous, we have learned about three-tier architecture, right? So what are the benefits of two-tier architecture? I'll discuss on class. Why it is used. Everything will be discussed. Then ACI packet forwarding. Okay, how packet can be forwarded through the ACI environment, and how to configure the bare metal in ACI. What is bare metal? Bare metal is nothing but server without operating system, right? And also VMM integration. That means VMware ESXi host how can be on ESXi host, we will configure the multiple VM and how they can be integrated in the ACI infrastructure. Okay, I'll discuss everything. Then day 26 and 27, I'll discuss layer 2 ACI, layer 2 out, layer 2 out BPC in ACI, layer 3 out in ACI. So these are very important. These are very important. I will go for theoretical and as well as I will move for lab. Day 28 and 29, I'll go for ACI layer 4 and layer 7 integration in ACI. How we can integrate the layer 7 and layer 4 and layer 7. Inter-tenant communication, micro-segmentation in ACI. Okay, I will discuss. Day 30 and 31, introduction and configuration, implement multi-pod and multi-site. What is ACI multi-pod? What is ACI multi-site? So ACI multi-pod is basically in the less than 50 seconds. Okay, 50 seconds if latency, then we can configure the ACI multi-pod. Okay, if we have multiple site on long distance, then we can configure the ACI multi-site. I will discuss everything. Then ACI labs, I will go for ACI labs on 32, 33, 34, 35, and day 36. Okay. So I will show you the lab as well. Then day 37, we will go for storage area network. Okay. So then day 38, I will discuss about some protocols. CSI, STARG, fiber channel over Ethernet. I'll discuss everything. And day 39, I will discuss about fiber channel protocol. Okay, because we will use the fiber channel protocol instead of Ethernet. Okay, so currently we are using the Ethernet technology, right, in the world. Ethernet is our LAN technology, but we will not use the Ethernet technology. Why? I will discuss everything. Why HC in data center fiber channel technology? The fiber channel is a media as well as it is also a protocol. Okay, so I will discuss everything. And what is F-log, P-log, PLI, PLO. So I will discuss. Then day 40 and 49, 41, I will discuss about FCOE. Okay, and I will discuss everything about this. Another important, but this is not so important actually on CCI. We will do more and more lab on Nexus than ACI, and another important is UCS. Okay, Unified Computing System. This is very important. As well as the Nexus, ACI, and UCS. These three technologies are very important in terms of CCI data center or CCNP data center. Now, Unified Computing System. So I will discuss what is UCS, what are the benefits. So let me open a slide. Suppose big one. So I have more and more slides as well as PDF documentation I will share. So this is UCS. So how UCS, we have the Cisco UCS server, right? So you can see here, this is the topology. Okay, so these are actually our fabric interconnector. This is basically the Nexus 6K or 5K switch, and this should be the unified. This switch should have the unified port. Okay, so what are the unified port? So I will discuss everything. So why unified port is required for Cisco UCS implementation? Okay, how we can implement it, from the UCS manager, how we can configure it, everything I will discuss. Suppose this one is a, so this is basically the lab goal is how we can run our server from the remote storage, So this is the goal of UCS part. That means UCS server, these servers will be boot from the remote storage. Okay. So we'll discuss about this part actually. Then we'll move for day 43. So I will configure the UCS. So we have a huge lab on UCS. Okay, so you see day 45, 45, 44, 45, 46, 47, and 48. I will configure the UCS lab. So everything. So these are the tasks of our UCS. And finally, after getting concept and getting a huge lab, then I will move for CC lab exam demo. Okay, so basically on CCA, you have to pass 2 exams. One is DC core. This is actually fully theoretical, and then DC lab exam. Okay, so DC core, you need suppose $400. Okay, for the this is actually called the written exam. Okay, 400 USD is the exam cost. And for DC lab, this is a 8 hours lab. Okay, so there are separate section, mainly 2 section: design part, and lab section, or troubleshooting, design and troubleshooting and configuration. On DC lab, you will find 2 separate sections: design and configuration or troubleshooting. So you have to pass separately. Suppose Cisco will assign. Suppose if you get the 80% marks on design, you will pass. But this is the requirement. Okay, suppose for an example. And also on lab part, you should minimum 80% for an example. But on DC part, design part, you are 100%. On lab part, you are getting 70%. No, you will not pass. Okay, so you have to pass on par exam, or part section, either design and troubleshooting and configuration. Okay, so I will show you a demo. Already I am preparing the CCA lab solution. So if anyone think that after the course, you will sit for the exam, you can. It's because I have the 100% valid lab solution. And another important thing is I can provide you the physical lab infrastructure. Okay, this is my weak point. All the labs, suppose Nexus, you can implement on your EV engine. So almost 99% configuration on Nexus you can do. But for UCS, you have to use the simulator. And for ACI also, you can use the simulator. Okay, but UCS you can do suppose 60% of 60 to 70% lab. Your satisfaction will be 60 to 70% because this is not actually any hardware. Okay, and Cisco ACI also 60% because this is not the hardware. But for implement this lab, you need minimum 64 GB to 128 GB RAM, and also you need 128 GB based, and also you need minimum 20 core CPU. 20 core CPU. So if you have, you can configure, or you can practice in your home lab. Okay. So I will provide all the images, no problem. How to set up lab, I will show you everything. So I will give you some resources, such as I will provide the slides on per day class. I will provide the PDF documentation. I will provide the lab documents, step-by-step configuration. I will provide the images. All the classes will be recorded. Okay, I will share the recorded, and this one is extra benefit. This one. That means I will give you the lab exam dumps. Okay, but only you need to hire physical lab, or you need to do boot camp from any vendor. Like Spoto. Okay, boot camp before the lab exam. You should go through the boot camp. Without boot camp, you cannot proceed. That's why my course, cost is very low. Okay, I only provide you the theoretical concept, and as well as part by lab. Also, I will provide a demo lab exam. Okay, that's why the cost is $900 maximum. So suppose if you are multiple people, suppose if you are 2 or 3, then you can buy the spotodams, okay, and practice together. Then you can save your cost. Suppose for spotodams you need to, and spotodams you need to buy is the $1,800. And you will get access to the real lab, which is needed for your exam, same as the exam lab. Okay, and you will get the documentation or updated dumps. Okay, so then you need to pay this extra. So who want to pass the lab exam, everyone should go for a dumps. Okay, otherwise they can't pass. They need the real lab exam server or rack. You need to hire. Okay, so without it you cannot pass. So my suggestion is, please go through this concept first, because on lab exam you need to pay $200 for exam fee. Then another $1,800 for latest dumps with rack access. So it is too much costly. That's why I suggest you to continue through the theoretical concept, as well as part by lab, minimum 1 to 2 years continuously. Because on the first attempt, many failed. On the first attempt, passing rate is 1% in data center. That's why please wait, please learn the technology, do lab step by step. When you are satisfied or confident enough, then go for the CCE lab exam. Okay. So actually, this is our demo. So do you have any question on it, please?